very pleased to be with you today and to have the opportunity to introduce the University Institute on Aging. There we go. The University Institute on Aging builds upon faculty strengths that were already resident here at Boston College. It builds upon existing and emerging research institutes and centers, and it fosters new initiatives here at Boston College. There are a lot of reasons for us to look at the whole area of aging at Boston College. Perhaps the most important one is to celebrate that increased longevity was one of the greatest accomplishments of the 20th century. Indeed, it's an opportunity for us now to not only read about our ancestors, but to meet our ancestors, as evidenced in the 5-generation photo that I have here. This chart also illustrates the aging of our populations. The blue figures represent what the population of the United States looked like in 1900. What we have in the green figures is how this population pyramid has started to lose its pyramid shape, and in fact you start to see almost the rectangularization of what was once a pyramid form. That's also shown in this slide where we follow the baby boomers, and some of you probably are boomers or are related to boomers, of course. And you can see how the boomers are having an impact, but it's a lot of attention goes to the baby boomers, but it's actually what's happening behind the baby boomers that is probably even more significant. Because as you follow the baby boomers through and they're getting older, you realize that along with increased longevity, we have lower fertility rates in the United States, and the population of young people is not really growing. So rather than having a pyramid where we have a whole lot of children, relatively few older people, you can see that it's getting to be more like a rectangle. And this figure shows by the year 2030 that we almost have a full rectangularization of the population pyramid. And that has major ramifications for our society. This slide also suggests something else is at work. Not only are we experiencing the fact that we have our aging population, but we realize that the oldest old is especially growing quite rapidly. And what you can see is that in the year 1900, there are only about 100,000 citizens in the United States who were 100 years of age and older, 85 years of age and older. But you can see by the year 2050, there'll be close to 20 million. Willard Scott's going to get very tired in the not too distant future. Good thing he retired from TV and he can just work on the agenda of greeting every 100-year centenarian's birthday. Lest we think that this phenomena is just the United States, I want to show you some data that shows world figures. This is the population pyramid in 1995 of the world, so it looks a little bit like a population pyramid. But these other figures, the white figures, show what it's going to look like in 2025. So even the whole world's population is starting to reflect this phenomena. In fact, this slide here shows 3 centuries of world population aging. In 1900, approximately 7% of the world's population was 60 years of age and older. By 1950, it grew up to 8%. And even now, it's only around 10%. But by the turn of the next century, almost 1/3 of the world's population is going to be 60 years of age and older. Major social and political and economic and all kinds of ramifications of these data. This slide asks a question. So I'm sure all of you know the answer. But let me walk you through the slide. who is, in fact, the world's fastest growing age group? You'll notice that there's little or no growth among younger age groups. In fact, there will be no more children in the world than there are today. So, although the world's population is growing, it's not growing because there will be more children. Indeed, there aren't, according to these charts and other data, going to be more children in the world. In fact, the real growth of the world's population is among our older cohorts. Accordingly, it's fitting that we have a growing cadre of BC faculty with interest in aging studies. We have a number of faculty in the various arts and science departments. Sociology is particularly strong with 4 faculty. We have faculty in psychology and economics, and then this past year even made a new hire in the field of in the discipline of economics. Among our professional schools, we also have strength. The Graduate School of Social Work is particularly strong with 5 senior faculty, and the School of Nursing also has great strength. And of course, most of you may recognize Alicia Manel, whose appointment is in the Graduate School of Management. It's sort of fitting that the professional schools have encountered this aging phenomena first, because they're on the front lines out there in the rural world, and that was the case at UCLA as well, that the whole growth of aging studies started in the professional schools and then spread to the wider campus. Currently, we have a number of centers at BC that are devoted to aging studies. We have the Center for Retirement Research. We have the National Resource Center for Participant-Directed Services. And then we have the Sloan Center on Aging and Work. The Center for Retirement Research seeks a secure retirement for all Americans, planning, saving, and spending for retirement. Alicia Manel, as I indicated, is the director of that center. And for those of you who are interested, there's, of course, the website, and there were brochures on one of the tables. The National Resource Center for Participant-Directed Services seeks to improve support and services for persons with disabilities, not only older adults, but also younger people with disabilities. Kevin Mahoney is the director of the center. Kevin is based in the Graduate School of Social Work, and this center actually has resulted in changes in some of our national regulations and legislations. And one unit of that, the Home Community-Based Services Program, is sort of an information referral and gets a number of calls as indicated by this slide. Later you'll be hearing from the Sloan Center on Aging. This is a center where it's looking at research on aging and work in the 21st century, fostering flexible work options for older workers. And this is an important phenomena in our society of how people can work longer by choice, as well as other factors. We have to, of course, adjust our work environments to accommodate this phenomena. Marcy Pitka-Sofis, who will be speaking with you shortly, is the director of that center, and her home department is the Graduate School of Social Work as well. And there's their website. The overall mission of the Institute on Aging is to foster education and research regarding spiritual, physical, social, financial, and emotional dimensions of well-being of older adults and their families. We have a wide array of new initiatives that will be forthcoming for the Institute on Aging. These include research initiatives, teaching. We hope to foster undergraduate education as well as graduate education that addresses the aging phenomena of our society, to both exploit the opportunities presented as well as to meet the challenges that will be forthcoming. We hope to involve the community, and today's event is an example of community involvement around topics related to aging studies. And of course, we'll be involved in fundraising activities because many of these new activities require resources to carry out. Essentially what we have with the Institute on Aging is a holistic framework for aging societies. Whereas a number of other universities may have institutes or centers on aging that take a particular categorical approach, maybe they emphasize nutrition or emphasize medical care, health services, and so forth. What we want to foster here at BC is this holistic approach. And this particular chart sort of graphically shows the framework that there are many arenas in which we need to address the ramifications of an aging society. The point that I want to leave with you is that we all recognize that the Industrial Revolution changed the way our society worked. The aging of our populations will have a similar impact. The world will not be the same because of this aging phenomena, and there are wonderful opportunities that could be presented by this increased longevity, and I'm sure from the attendance here that we're up to that challenge and that we're ready to ever excel. So again, I thank you for the opportunity to introduce the Institute on Aging to you, and I'm now going to introduce the next speaker, Marcy Pitskasofis, who's going to give us some preliminary data from the survey in which you participated. So again, thank you very much for your attention.